Hi, welcome to Money Confidence. I'm Crystal Oculee, the Chief Financial Strategist here at Confidence Wealth, and every week I try to bring a topic that's talked about, seems to be what's on everyone's mind, and bring that to you. And, in just little bursts, not big episodes or anything, something simple. Now, in the meantime, really the topic the last week has been for one of my clients have been pension. Lump sum, or do I turn on income for life? So I wanted to just touch base really quickly about the pros and the cons on both sides. And I actually have a couple of YouTube videos that you can listen to that goes into it a little bit more in depth. So really the idea is when you take a pension as a source of income, because that's in a sense what you intended it to be, that stream of income is guaranteed for your life when you're choosing it from your company, and normally for the life of your spouse if you choose the 100% survivorship. Now you can obviously use the less survivorship, but that means they get less, you get more. So let's just say, for example, if you were going to get $3,000 a month. Instead, maybe you take $2,000 a month, and then your spouse also gets $2,000 a month. But if you took the $3,000, then she may get nothing, or you may do the 50% option, which would be she gets you take a little bit less. In that case, maybe you take $2,500, and then she gets half of that. So there are definitely other options. There's 75% survivorship and all of these different things, but that's not what I wanted to talk in this particular episode about. However, you can listen to my YouTube videos. More than welcome to ask for it. I'll send you the links to them. I just wanted to go over pros and cons and really the major reason why someone would choose a lump sum instead of a monthly or vice versa. So if you're type of a person that likes control, usually you go with that lump sum option because you want it to be under your control, deciding what you want to do with it. Now, if you have, let's go to the other side, the extreme side. If you have a tendency of investing the wrong way or not knowing what to do or thinking you may overspend, that's the reason you may go with the monthly amount. Now, you can also roll over the pension and turn it into a pension of your own, right? That's something you are able to do. However, it's usually going to be a lesser monthly payment. You just have a little bit more control in terms of diversifying it amongst different companies to do that, because really what is a pension after all? A pension is an annuity, right? And that means it's through an insurance company. So you can diversify that amongst different ones if that's something you wanted to do, just so you have that diversification. Now, the other reason you may want to roll it over as a lump sum and do that is because you're concerned about, well, what if something happens to me and my spouse and we were traveling and we collect the pension for 5 years and then, gosh forbid, we passed on? Then what happens? Then obviously, if you have it through your company and they don't have a contingent, and some I see that once in a while that they allow that, but majority of the time you don't, then the kids don't get anything. Or you can then do it on your own, where you're saying, if something happens to me, if there's money left over, it'll go to my heirs. So really there are many different options. I have then clients that really like more control. They don't need necessarily the income. So let's say maybe they have rental properties or they have different sources of income that are going to be coming in. So they don't want to really turn it into an income. They want to maybe just make it growth oriented and really invest it in a diversified way in the market. So those are the reasons why sometimes people roll over the pension as a lump sum instead of a monthly amount. Or maybe they're really concerned about their current company and they're wondering, would that company still be around? Let's say they're with ABC. I'm just throwing that name out there. It doesn't really exist. So if they're with the ABC, the name of a company, let's say is ABC, and they're worried that ABC may not be in business, well, then what do? So that's the reason why they're choosing to roll it over as a lump sum. It really is truly a personal choice. But what is important is weighing out the pros and cons of both sides and truly getting educated of what's best for you and really understanding risk versus reward and all the choices you would make. Whether you roll it over as a lump sum, what you do with that lump sum, that is one thing, but also just a whole holistic picture of what fits best in your situation. Then it's a matter of the success of your scenarios. So making sure that you're always in the green zone. We call that the green zone when we're running Monte Carlo simulations, to make sure you're on the right track. So for everyone, it is really going to be a personal choice. So my recommendation is, if this is something you're debating and you're thinking, should I take a lump sum or should I take a monthly payment? If I do take a lump sum, what do I do with it? These are all the things that you really want to do in a brainstorming session with math behind it. So I suggest you set something up and run that with any of your team members here at Confidence Wealth. If you are not a current client and this is something that's on your mind, maybe you're a friend of a client, we'll be happy to set up a session to brainstorm with you of what options exist and run some analysis for you as well. But I do think this is a very, very important decision, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. I've seen too many people make a decision to do the monthly or take the lump sum without really doing much thought process behind it. So it really is important for you to make the right choice. With that said, if you need anything, you know where to find us, and please go ahead and message me here for any information that you need. Have a great one.